Welcome to the NPC Energy Podcast. This is the place where, we spend a lot of time wondering if reality is maybe just a really, really convincing simulation.
Kind of like The Matrix, right? That underlying question.
Exactly. Like, was it a documentary? It gets you thinking, doesn't it?
It definitely does. That sense that maybe what we see isn't quite the full picture.
Absolutely. So for today's simulated journey, we're diving deep, really deep into one of the most, mind-bending ideas the Matrix played with, causality loops.
Causality loops. Yeah, the whole concept where an event is somehow both the cause and the effect of itself.
Right. It's like trying to figure out which came first, the chicken or the egg, but way more confusing.
It really is. It's like time chasing its own tail, almost.
Yeah.
The anonymous sources we looked at used a great analogy, like a grandfather clock powered purely by paradox.
Yeah, that was a good one. So let's break it down with maybe a more relatable example.
Sure. Okay, imagine this.
Yeah.
You love music, right? You put together this killer mixtape, playlist nowadays of your absolute favorite songs.
Okay, got it.
Now, imagine you somehow travel back in time. You find your younger self who wants to be a musician but honestly is pretty lost, kind of uninspired.
Uh-huh.
And you give your younger self this playlist.
Okay.
And hearing those songs just ignites something. Your younger self gets super passionate, dedicates their life to music, works really hard, and eventually writes and records the exact songs that were on the playlist you gave them.
Whoa, wait, so
you took the playlist back,
which inspired the song?
which ended up on the playlist.
That I took back. So where did the songs actually come from? Yeah.
Exactly. That's the paradox. The origin point just seems to dissolve. It's self-contained.
Wow. Okay, that really does twist your brain a bit. It makes our usual idea of the A causes B feel, way too simple.
It certainly challenges that linear progression, doesn't it? Cause effect, nice and neat. These loops suggest something tangled, maybe even circular.
And I remember seeing in those anonymous sources we reviewed something called a nerd check. It hinted this isn't just sci-fi fantasy land.
That's right. It touched on actual theoretical physics. Concepts like closed time-like curves.
CTCs.
CTCs, yeah, they theoretically pop out of Einstein's theory of general relativity under certain, admittedly pretty exotic conditions. The maths suggest paths in space-time could actually loop back on themselves.
Loop back, like you could travel along one and meet yourself.
In principle, yeah. That's the theoretical possibility. Kurt Gödel, mathematician, explored some of these ideas too. So the framework, the mathematical possibility for these loops, it exists in serious physics.
Okay, so it's not completely out there. It sounds like something from the movies, but the actual equations don't rule it out entirely.
Precisely. It doesn't mean they do exist or are easy to create, but the possibility isn't forbidden by the physics we know. It really stretches our intuition about how time and causality work.
Yeah, our everyday experience is just arrow straight time, one thing after another.
But the fundamental level might be weirder or complex, potentially loopy.
Okay, wow. So let's bring this back a bit. How does this connect, to our experience? Both in The Matrix, which played with this a lot, and maybe even those weird little moments in our own lives the sources mentioned.
Well, the Matrix itself is a great sandbox for this. Think about the agents.
Right. They're always trying to enforce the rules, maintain the expected sequence of events, almost like enforcing causality.
Exactly. But then you throw in someone like the Oracle.
Yes. The Oracle. Her predictions, they change things, don't they?
They absolutely do. She tells someone what might happen or what choice they face, and that knowledge influences their actions.
Which then often leads to the very outcome she hinted at. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy loop built right into the system's code.
Precisely. It's a fascinating loop of information influencing action, which confirms the information.
Yeah.
And beyond that fictional example, remember those glitches the anonymous sources talked about from everyday life?
Yeah, I do. Those moments that just feel off. Like dreaming really vividly about a specific, unique place you've never been to.
And then weeks later, bam, you stumble across that exact place in real life. How does that happen?
Or constantly running into the same stranger, not just once or twice, but weirdly often in totally different parts of town, different contexts.
Yeah, that's happened to me. It's so strange. Or like making a totally random, off-the-cuff wish about something small, and then it just happens almost immediately.
The sources suggested framing these as potential memory echoes. like faint signals from a previous loop or a different possibility within the simulation.
Or simulation retries, like the system is making tiny adjustments, running things again maybe.
Exactly. The implication being, maybe these aren't just random coincidences. Maybe they're hints of a deeper structure, a system potentially adjusting or, well, looping.
It definitely makes you look at those odd little moments differently, doesn't it? Instead of just shrugging them off as weird, you start thinking, is there a pattern here?
And there was another angle in the sources too, shifting gears a bit, the technical one, recursion in computing. Oh, right. Yeah, like in programming, where a piece of code, a function, calls itself from within its own instructions.
Exactly. And if you don't build in a way for it to stop, an exit condition.
It can just run forever, an infinite loop, like a digital snake eating its tail, stuck repeating the same step.
Precisely. So if you think of the Matrix as this incredibly complex software,
Billions of lines of code, agents as functions, the environment as data.
it's totally plausible that similar looping structures, recursive functions, maybe even errors causing loops could exist within that code. Agents following recursive protocols, maybe certain events triggering functions that call themselves.
So we've got these loop ideas popping up in theoretical physics with CTCs and in computer science with recursion.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could loops, causality loops, just be a fundamental aspect of any really complex system, whether it's space-time or software?
That's a really interesting point. Like, is it just something that happens when things get complicated enough? An emergent property?
It's definitely a possibility worth considering.
Okay, so as we kind of start to wind down this particular simulated journey through causality loops and thinking about those final questions the anonymous sources left us with, it really comes down to this, maybe for everyone listening. Are you the cause in your life or just the effect?
Or could you be both?
Yeah.
Caught in a loop, maybe one you don't even fully perceive.
It's a big question. It makes you think about patterns, doesn't it? Do you see the same situations, the same kinds of challenges cropping up again and again in your life?
Yeah, that feeling of, here we go again. Does that feel like being stuck in a loop? Or conversely, do you feel like you have the agency, the free will to break out of those patterns, to consciously choose a different path?
It really throws the whole free will versus determinism thing into a new light, especially if loops are possible. So yeah, definitely gives you something to chew on. And for everyone out there, we really want to know, have you felt this? Have you had one of those moments that felt like a glitch in the loop?
That really intense deja vu, maybe? Or a coincidence that just seemed mathematically impossible?
Yeah, those reality repeats. We'd love to hear about them. Jump onto our social media. It's at NPC ENERGY Pod.
Let us know. Share your stories, your weird glitches.
We're definitely curious to hear if you've spotted your own causality hiccups out there.
We are listening.
Okay, until our next simulated journey then, digging into another corner of this strange reality, whispered, "Welcome to the glitch, baby."